Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
This is my new look. Sideways, slightly sideways.
A new look for 24.
Huh? What'd you say? I didn't hear you for a second because I was thinking about the last thing you said.
What, 3 weeks ago?
Because this is the new me. I took a workshop on how to listen since I last saw you. Are we okay sound-wise? Because you seem to have a concerned look in your face.
No, I was just concerned if I could handle you for an hour.
Well, let me tell you something. I want to thank you very much for allowing me. Because, you know, I don't know if people know about this, but you set the schedule, and it's your schedule or the high schedule. Your schedule or the high schedule. And so I said, look, Josh, I said, I have a question. He goes, you want me to come over there and punch you in the face again like the last time he asked the question? I said, Josh, just calm down. He goes, fuck you. Okay. But can we start at 11 just this week? And I want to tell you something. I'm so excited about the 11 o'clock. And the only thing I'll say about it, I think we'll find out in 25 minutes that 10 o'clock is better performance-wise.
Uh-huh.
No, if I'm not raring to go,
yeah,
I'm ready to go.
Willing to go.
I'm willing to go.
Okay, good. Well, go.
Oh, how are you? And did I read about your I think I went to Instagram for a second, or maybe it was Instagram. I go, my eyes get hazy, and blah, blah, blah. But I saw you made a. I'm gonna try and not screw it up, like really say the name of it. Braised duck with cherry, Chablis, cherry. What's the cherry?
It was
cherry jubilee.
No, it was a cherry and port sauce.
Reduction.
Yeah, it was a reduction.
Can you say a reduction?
It was a reduction, in fact. Yeah.
And everyone loved it?
It was just Allison and I. This was pre-Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I see. And then what'd you do on
I
Christmas
cooked for a couple of nights, and I don't know. I decided to go Instagram with them because Allison likes to take pictures of them. So,
look, we both struggle with Instagram. So anytime
Allison
you
likes to
accomplish...
brag on Facebook about my cooking more than I like to brag about my cooking.
Yeah, but since you're never on Facebook...
I'm not, ever.
It's totally good.
It was a braised duck leg.
Ooh.
Very crispy skin, because that sits outside the braise.
What do you mean? I don't even know what braised means. Does it mean?
Let's not get into it.
Okay, but is it in a pot though? Is it like it's like sauteed but less?
No, it's not sauteing at all.
Okay,
no.
But it's flavorful because it cooks in this thing and it gets reduced, and the flavor drops off the bone. I don't know why I can't get into duck. I mean, I think I should get into it.
You should. It's really, it's an excellent meat.
I loved it in London when I was there, when they had the, what is that they always have? That's very, very good.
Don't know.
You know what it is.
I don't know of any famous London duck. I do not know.
No, just duck, Peking, Beijing duck, or however they call it.
Yeah, okay.
You've had that, right?
I have.
And what's your take on that?
It's good. I mean, it's not worth ordering 24 hours in advance because, you know, who thinks that far ahead about dinner?
Jews.
True.
Jews do.
True.
Jews do. So, you had a quiet time. I got a gift. I got a couple of gifts that I'm very excited about.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
The one that I'm very, very excited about is and this is what I think is going to go, it's interesting. It's like retro. It's like vinyl. I went with a corded headphone set.
Corded headphone set.
Corded.
Okay.
So and they also fit, but they fit in your ears very AirPod-like. Like they kind of like open. Because I
much like this system here that I'm wearing around my corded AirPod.
You know what?
Yeah.
Oh, you're wearing corded ones. Okay, I'm sorry. It's exactly right.
I actually held it up. I don't know what to do.
I got so confused by it. And
sorry for the non sequitur about corded earphones. I apologize.
No, because for 1 second I thought you had something that someone had told me about, which attaches to the AirPods and loosely hangs them like a lanyard, which you would say is stupid, maybe, but it's for people who are exercising so they don't get knocked all over the place. Because I had bought 27 pairs of AirPods. I have AirPod 1, I have the AirPod second generation, I have the AirPod next generation.
I had a woman knock on my door the other day to see if I had found her AirPods in front of my house.
And you didn't?
I did not, no.
Is it
really, what were the odds? No.
And it was a neighbor,
well,
right?
I assume it was someone local because she had walked by, but...
Yeah, I've lost. I actually know I actually went to search for pods once, and I was able. They gave me the address of where I had dropped it.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is right here, but they don't say 1 foot, 2 foot next to the
So
to the
like,
snail.
you had like a find your AirPods thing.
Find your AirPods.
Nice.
That's exactly what I had.
That might be why she came to my home.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the deal. See, so they sound unbelievable. Oh my God, they sound better. But and I'm tired of the AirPods popping out. So the AirPods are good at home.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why aren't you using them now?
Should I put? Well,
No, I don't mean to panic you. I'm just asking if these are.
No. You're right. I should. When all of Christmas, I was in that exact mode of an excited little boy.
Yeah.
Wondering all the different things, because here's the thing: they're high quality. I'm not saying they're expensive, but they're not $100. They're woo, and they're not $200. Woo.
Okay.
They're under.
I was trying to get an idea of your price range.
Yeah. So that's not my price range. Susan just decided we weren't even going to buy presents, but we bought stocking stuffers for each other. And then was it Dan Marsh or somebody said has a very funny idea for what Susan could do? Is that just leaving them empty? Is that what that idea would be? I showed our stockings again. He goes, I think I have a funny idea for Susan. That would be great. That would be just not filling them again, right?
Oh, I don't know. There's lots of funny things you could do.
And
You have to ask Dan Wade what his wild mind came up with.
Was it Dan Wade?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Or
maybe I did. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't spend much time on the.
No,
then
Susan and I had a conversation about that yesterday. She said, "When are you going to get off of that Twitter?" I said, "I can't get." Here's the thing. I don't think. Are you going to go to Threads? Everyone is saying, should we pick something that's better than is Blue Sky the way we're going to, or should we just? I don't know what to do.
I don't know. If anything, it'll be Blue Sky for me because that's just.
You're comfortable with it.
Well, it's just I don't know.
You're there.
I'm not there. But if I like 3 times a week, I'll look at my Blue Sky.
Oh, you don't transfer your. You're a very much tweet for the site you're on, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't.
Right?
I don't do multi-platform tweeting because who gives a shit, really?
The whole thing is ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to get rid of Instagram. But
sometimes, but that's not true. Sometimes I'll post a joke on Twitter and Blue Sky, and then I won't come back for 3 days.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. If you come up with what you think is a good joke and what you thought in the past was a good joke,
doesn't matter anymore.
Well, because a lot of the people have left Twitter. A lot of the good people have left Twitter.
Absolutely.
And there's so many Nazis there that you have to almost. It's scary. That's what Susan's like. She says, "I don't want you on that stupid site anymore."
It's a stupid site to support at this point. I understand why people have remained there, just out of habit and out of having established like a bunch of fucking people looking at their things.
Yeah, that's the sad part to me, is because I still feel like it's the only place that still preserves that thing we used to have, but it's gone. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, it's gone. There's nothing vital about it anymore.
Yes. And Instagram confused. Doesn't that the Instagram confuse me? It's just like my eyes start to glaze over because there's the naked ladies.
It just bores the shit out of me, Instagram.
Naked ladies. Yeah, but because you're a wordsmith. We talked about this a million times.
I want to
talk about it a million times.
I want to hear what people are thinking, not see what they're doing.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Hey, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm making the cupcakes again today. Here they are. Hey, nothing like my afternoon coffee. Hey, have you ever seen me smoke a cigarette? Hey, here's me not taking heroin. No, thank you.
Here's me taking it.
Oh, good. Yeah, but you see, so that's the thing. The thing is that the whole idea of this, I wish the ship had sailed, but I do need to promote. I'm now going to go to Austin. It's settled.
Really?
It's settled law.
Wow, fantastic.
And here's what I did.
What'd you do?
It's so sad. Don't talk like this at the home, okay? Hey, Josh, did Susan show you what I did? What did you do? I made this little putty, this toy she brought, and you make it into different things.
That's fantastic.
I had 204,000 miles with American Airlines, and I spent $200,000 of it to go first class to Austin.
Yeah.
For me and Susan.
Great.
And so that it worked out good that way. It worked out good that way. So, but now I have to come
Except
up
for
with
Susan.
yeah, exactly. But now I have to come up with it. And this is the thing that's like bothering me. Not bothering me, but my mind goes, what are you going to do? You have to come up with an act. And then the other part of my mind goes, you're going to have to come up with an act. Didn't you hear what you just said?
Both your minds are right.
And I said, well, what does that mean? It means, and the other guy goes, get out into a fucking club. You're going to have to find clubs. You have to go out.
So what have you booked, by the way? So what is...
Nothing yet. Oh, I booked, booked 4 nights. 4 nights in Austin, the 17th to the 20th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Of April?
Of April.
So that is during the festival.
That's during the festival. Okay. And I'm doing a small theater or something like 100-seater, and I'm going to try and record an album. See, I'm already going to try and... No, Andy. You're recording an album. That means you have to be up and running by April, not March 27th going, I could talk about Joe Rogan in Austin. No. It's to be an actual act.
Good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited and nervous about it.
See, did you hear the pause where I made all that choice not to say anything negative? And then I just went to good.
Well, we've heard the description of it by one of the people who listen to our show.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that sounds great. You haven't done stand-up in 5 years. You're going to... and you're going to go to a hostile audience. I'm not that worried about there being a hostile audience because Austin, there's good crowds.
No, you don't have to worry about that. Worry about the act part. Don't worry about the crowd part.
That's exactly true. And the thing that I thought would be great, and a lot of people have been mentioning this, is that instead of us doing a podcast in the new year, we work on my act and people get to see the behind the scenes of how an act starts, how it builds, what makes it funny, what makes it boring to hear the process. You know, not only did I broken the fourth wall, I took out some, what's the wall that holds up stuff?
The load-bearing wall?
Yes. Okay, now you put it together for me. I broke the fourth wall. I didn't realize it was load-bearing.
Wow, that's a lot of forehead you gave me there.
You look good. You look like
you know what? I just went salt and pepper. Yeah. That's what I went. Salt and pepper. Oh, that's a lot of salt.
Now I can tell.
You're supposed to cut back on your salt.
I'm not a doctor. I think you know that by now.
I do know that.
But you sound
I call one a lot.
It sounds like you feel less pain. No question.
Shingles wise, yes. Shingles wise is not an issue anymore, I would say.
So it's almost over, right? It doesn't even exist?
It's irrelevant at this point. It's kind of, it's background noise at worst.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear that. And I wanted to tell you that I watched the TCM. We basically kept the TV on TCM from like the 23rd to the 25th.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. You know, I just wanted to tell you, and of course you probably know this, but I was thinking like, why did they make, and I used to think, why are they making some stupid movie when I was a kid? Shorty punches Eddie in the nose and finds out his wife slept with Schminky, right? And I was like, why are they making all these stupid movies? Because that's all they had. You didn't have television. You didn't have sitcoms. You didn't have anything.
Right.
You had to make movies about everything.
Right.
Because people wanted to see movies.
Yeah.
And they couldn't all be the Pride and Prejudice.
They weren't all events. No.
No. And then the other thing you go, oh my God, Andy, if you were like a film person, you would start to notice all of these of your favorite characters and how, like, you know, this guy, he's like the German guy, he's a big guy and he's in all the movies.
Yeah.
They did a thing about him on TCM about how, he was from, where's he from? He's from
Germany.
Hungary.
Oh,
that's from Hungary. And so,
you misdirected me when you said German guy.
Well, because he wasn't. So I thought that was fascinating. And then you start to realize that a lot of my early things when I was a kid going, they couldn't act. We know that I grew up, but I was like, well, they couldn't act back then. I mean, you had to go, hey, sing, and it's absolutely not true.
It's not true.
It's absolutely, it's not only not true, it's wrong.
Yeah.
They could act back then, and they had a lot of, in some of these movies, all Christmas movies, but they were all pretty funny. There was a lot of funny stuff going on.
There was a lot of great writers working.
Like the one with Monty Wally.
Don't know.
You do know him. I told him about it a lot of times. He was like a famous stage actor. He's like a ne'er-do-well who gets these rich people.
It's not Monty Welly, I don't think.
That's what I meant to say.
No, it's not that.
Oh, no. I know. I'm sure I'm wrong.
Right, okay. But you're thinking of the man who came to dinner, I believe.
Yes, thank you. See?
Okay.
I should have written them down one by one. And that was great. We saw that a couple of times. And then there's one that I didn't see that I want people to see because it looks like the Thin Men movie. Like, here's what I tell people. I could be a reviewer who watched some of the movies. So the Thin Man, the afterwards of the Thin Man looks interesting. Because Jimmy Stewart.
The afterwards?
After the Thin Man, it's called? There's the Thin Man.
There's a bunch of Thin Man movies.
Right. And they all look, it looks good. It looks like they knew what they were doing. Or they...
You and Nora, Charles, Asta, the dog, them.
Okay, so you know those shows. So you're very but why are you hiding all this knowledge out? That all these things you could have been doing, and now film history with Josh could have been a department on our podcast.
Could have been. Ship has sailed, but could have been.
Is the ship sailed?
I think so.
What are we gonna? Are you ready to announce the new changes for
24?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. I don't know. What should we do? Less? Should we do less?
No, I think we should do. I think we should do shows. And I don't want to say. Here's the thing. I'm not the type of person who will now say Jen Kirkman in every show. That is not what people want to hear. That's not what they paid to hear.
No, probably is what they want to hear, but they're not getting it. They're not getting it.
They're not going. They are going to get it. Jen Kirkman. And I forgot what I was going to say about her. See, that's the thing that saves me from being even more obnoxious. Is I forget half of my bits. Does
that mean you have to write a 2-hour act? What are you shooting for? What are you shooting for time wise?
I think I want to end up at 47 minutes. Just like I think that's a magic number, 45 to 51 minutes, like a headlining says. Yeah. But if it's an hour and you want it, you love it, but I got to do at least an hour.
Yeah, okay. But the album wise, it doesn't fucking matter because your whole point is to break it up into tracks and put it on radio and get sound. Yeah,
but I still wanted people when I came out with the last one to listen to it. I'm very proud of my editing because I think I edited it into a show. But what you're saying is not. I think if you put it out and it was an hour and a half, and someone did try to listen to the whole thing, they would get bored and then they wouldn't want to take out. It shouldn't be a show.
No, I'm not saying longer is the way to go.
No. Well,
I'm saying 40 is as good as 50 in this situation.
Right, but I think yes.
But you still have to do a show, a professional show.
I still have to do a show, and people pay the money. And is it worth $4 to see me? I just got tired of talking about myself. You would have hoped that this would have happened years ago. Getting exhausted about talking about myself.
I thought it happened weekly, and then you just got a second wind each time.
So this new microphone, it's corded.
You're talking about headphones, not microphones.
Headphones. Uh-huh. And it's normal. Oh, thank God I didn't get back into that. Normally, you put them on, and there's no microphone. But then she got me a Shure microphone. So I think I might be walking down the street looking like a contraption.
Hey, good looking. I'll be back to pick you up later.
So let's try them on Friday, and we're gonna really.
She got you. I don't know. She got you a Shure.
The Shure is not who makes the thing. Uh-huh. Is the Shure makes adds a microphone input to it, phone that so you can operate a phone through it. Otherwise, there's no microphone in it. Uh-huh. Like they all have microphones. There's a microphone here, obviously. But the reason why this doesn't pick up is that we're going through here, but it is coming out through there. I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there's a mic on those headphones.
Okay, so let me ask you this:
okay,
why when I'm talking to someone in a Zoom, they can hear me perfectly?
Because your keyboard, your laptop has a microphone.
That's what I'm talking into?
Yeah, on a Zoom.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Where is that? Where is that?
It's like right in the front.
Oh, God.
A little hole.
We could never have a Stuart Lerman gear type show.
Have you hooked up with Stewie?
No, and I was afraid. Should I see if he has emailed me? Because I just, you know how I don't check my emails? He said he would contact me mid-month.
Yeah, wait until
let's wait.
New Year.
Let's give it a decent amount.
Give it
Let's not start.
Give it 37 years, and then.
Yeah. No. I've already compiled. I'm not going to make this uncomfortable for him, but I've compiled a short film introduction.
The times you were funny. Chicken.
I know I've brought it up a million times, but every time I think about me in college taking LSD and that they put on a thing called Carnival.
Yeah.
And so that everybody had their own booth and you could put your own show on. It was pretty cool, right? So I was
well, I mean, really?
Well, it could have been cool. It could have been cool, right? So I was singer, songwriter, guitarist, right?
Oh.
But I dropped acid,
Uh-huh.
right? So I started playing the songs and I'm like, what is the thing I'm supposed to sing? And you're supposed to hear, it was all that. It was a whole day of
nothing
that.
has changed since you took acid.
And then someone pointed out that my girlfriend at the time's father had come there and had he was a very interesting man, and he had piled up all the chairs in the room somehow. So I don't really know. This was not a make or break event for me, the Carnival, but it seemed like
it might have broke you.
Well, because I didn't realize then until years later that you can have well, I may not have had a psychotic break from LSD, but it was more hazardous than I knew about.
It was more like psychotic timeout.
Well, you can't relate to these things because you don't relate to how much you don't relate to how much my experience.
I have yet to have a drug make me suspend my disbelief.
I know. The thing is, I keep telling they got to find something that would get you. But why do you want to be gotten?
I don't. I think that's what's happening.
That's what's happening. Well, I think if we got you out and did ayahuasca,
no,
I
don't think so.
Oh, I think so.
I think I could have a very negative experience.
Oh no, you'd have a negative experience. Yeah. I'm not saying you. No, what I'm saying is there a drug that could I thought the whole thing with you is you have a strong mind.
Yeah, well, I don't know how strong it is, but it's stubborn.
It's a stubborn mind.
It's a stubborn mind. It doesn't want to lose grips with reality. It really doesn't. It really wants to be there.
Right.
So it likes to feel kind of wavy, you know.
The wavy and the giggly.
It doesn't mind a little diversion. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it's not.
But if it's
not looking to detach from terra firma.
Oh, I hate to have Dennis Miller on acid. So if you're high and you're getting wobbly and you're getting what's the other things that are good, like giggly and just like
euphoric.
Colorful.
Let's just say euphoric.
And you see colors, right?
I don't know about the colors so much.
Okay, I've seen colors.
Yeah.
And then that happens, and then
you see colors taking a shit.
No, what people have seen happens a lot is synesthesia happens a lot, where colors have a smell and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had an ending to the story about 4 seconds ago. How good could it have been?
You in a booth?
Well, I'll never forget that in my entire life.
Well, you'll forget parts.
I'll forget parts of it, but just the whole thing of you're supposed to set up your own booth. That's your choice. No one's forcing every college student to set up their own booth for this carnival.
Right.
You could participate,
but you could,
or you can't participate. Right.
Booth, right.
But you're not supposed to set it up and go, "Oh, what's the deal here? I get what you're doing to me. The man wants me to speak because I was trying to play guitar, couldn't play so well."
But you didn't want booth FOMO.
Carnival FOMO.
Sure.
Carnival.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Put it in your set. Put it in your new set.
But you didn't have that collegiate experience. They went away to college and the people in the phone booth.
I had the most arm's length college experience one could have.
Here's what I would also say. When you went, am I 15 years older than you or 20 years older?
You're 15-ish, I think.
Right. The other thing about it is my generation, it was more expected, and my income, like middle class Jews, it was more of an accepted thing that you go rent to college. By the time you were, it was still accepted.
No, let me just say, it was totally expected that I went to college. It was
all of your friends
100% expected that I would go to college and finish.
And all your friends too, right? It was pressure on everybody.
Every one of them, yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, not
so
every one of them, but
it was no different then.
No.
I thought it had loosened up by then, just because they were more expensive then, even.
No.
By the time you went.
There was no expectation among my parents that not going to college was an option until I presented them with that.
So you're like a rebel in many ways.
I'm a quiet, polite rebel.
Yes. I am here.
I like to negotiate my rebellion as I go rather than...
absolutely.
That was my tactic as a young man.
I don't see you going off half-cocked. And a lot of people have said in the last 20 years that I've been going off half-cocked.
No, they just said you had a small penis.
It never was small, Josh. It was never small. It was always huge and just didn't work.
His penis doesn't work.
So don't start spreading news. It's much more dramatic to think of it as a once mighty beast.
It's a ship's rope that you're playing pool with, not a jump rope.
Exactly. And so, in its heyday, my penis was probably one that was top of the line. Top over the line. First of all, circumcised. You're welcome, ladies.
That's what you should have built your booth around.
It's just amazing to me because you've often pointed out that you're recalling things that you can't possibly have been more. You couldn't have possibly not gone through it because that's what growing up is part of. You don't know what you're doing, and that's the way you grow.
Right.
So you can, when you look back at it, you go, "Why did I send a letter to Robert Hilburn?" Your point would be, "This is things you do when you're young."
Yeah, I don't spend nearly as much time looking back.
Well, you don't have as much love. I had such a more fascinating life.
Probably
I was
true.
friends with Dylan. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
You got earphones? You got earphones?
What's that?
You got, let's get back on your...
AirTags. I got some AirTags.
A Child's Christmas in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah, I got some AirTags.
Yeah.
You know what those are? You know what those are, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, for example...
They're like skin tags, but you can track them.
I lose my favorite coffee cup 5 or 6 times a day.
Really?
Now I have an AirTag on it.
That's fantastic.
It does affect the taste.
And it fucks up in the dishwasher. But.
Yes. Okay. The dishwasher is even funnier, but I'm saying that I actually put it inside the cup.
Wow.
And it affects the taste.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I don't want to say I have a lot of AirTags, but I have an AirTag to keep track of my AirTags. This is for April.
I know.
Not for now.
I know. Kind of makes me want to book a ticket.
Maybe comedy is just a bad format. Did you ever think of that? Maybe it's just
for you. Just for you.
Now I'm back.
Fantastic.
Look, this is a
weird
weird
what you're
time.
going to call your album?
We're back. We're gonna come. Don't you feel that this? You probably don't because you don't care about Christmas and you hate Christians. But don't you find this time of the year to be odd after Christmas and New Year? Yes. I know this is not the most intelligent, but I don't know. I get up and go, "What day is it?" For example,
I was the first that I know of to call it the taint of the year, but. Others have since.
I don't want you. Why do you have to? No, but it is weird. And the other thing is knowing that you're not ever going to do something for New Year's Eve. It's just you're never going to do it because you don't want to do anything for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it's coming to.
I don't want to go to a party.
To peace with that adulthood. Comes into the picture.
But also to stock. I want to stock up on foreign movies or something, so I don't have to because I keep going. I'll watch one. I don't want to watch Anderson Schmeckel. And anymore, and Andy Hoo.
Right.
It's not funny to watch network news people get drunk.
No, but you have 7 streaming services you can choose from.
Yeah, but they're all going to be. It's all going to be Dick Clark, and it's all going to be.
No, it's not. No.
What do you have?
Choose whatever you want. Is my point.
Oh, you don't. No. But I'm saying.
You're not bound to network television.
No, but I thought you were saying that there's many. Yeah, but I thought you were saying there's a lot of different streaming alternatives where they're doing a New Year's Eve.
Oh no! Why would you want to watch some fucking? Why would you want to secondhand watch someone celebrating New Year's Eve?
But even the Christmas ones. I mean, I know you tune into Mariah Carey's special every. But why? Why do I want to hear?
Did you see any of that weird ass Dick Van Dyke special?
No,
that was weird ass. That was some
okay. How old is he? 96?
98.
Wow. And should I watch it because it was embarrassing?
No,
I mean, he's not embarrassing.
It wasn't quite embarrassing. It just it had the weirdest production value. It was a very small, not very populated theater with Dick Van Dyke watching everything as people did Dick Van Dyke
in L.A.
people did Dick Van Dyke number. I think in LA. Dick Van Dyke numbers for him.
What's a Dick Van Dyke number?
Like musical numbers from his career.
He watched somebody else do Chim Chim Marie?
Yeah.
And dance around the stage with it. That sounds awful.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking weird.
Was it all musical? There was no retrospective, and
No, it was all of the above. It was all, but I mean, it wasn't like he grew up, blah blah blah. But it was his career.
Yeah. Who's he hang with? Who was around him in the box?
His wife.
Who's 27? I don't want to say anything.
She's nowhere. She's not in her 90s. I'll put it that way. She's probably in her 60s or early 70s.
I'm not going to get into my anti-Dick Van Dyke humor because I love him, but it's as you're saying it, I wouldn't want to watch it. I would maybe want to watch another Dick Van Dyke, about the show retrospective.
Yeah, but even just the 98th birthday celebration is like, we should probably get this in. Is kind of how it feels.
Oh, I see. Well, you didn't see Andrea Lansbury. That can't be her name.
Angela would be her name.
Yeah, you didn't see her doing a 100th birthday. Did she live to 100? I think she did.
I don't know.
You didn't see even Norman Lear do happy 97, 96.
I think they did do a Norman Lear thing.
That's what I'm saying. They did it better. That's what I'm saying.
But he crossed 100.
He did. He did cross 100. And you know who else? UB Blake.
Also old, yes.
I think when I'm that old, first of all, the years.
Methuselah.
I'm thinking about this, but it could be slightly sad if I did an Andy Kindler Christmas special from the home. From the home.
It would be sad, but fun.
First of all, would the home sign off on it?
It depends on the home.
Filming there?
It depends on the home, really.
What do you mean, the home? I'm going to I give my money every year to the SAG Foundation. I expect it's accruing interest.
Yeah. Unlike your career.
That also reminds me of the Bill Dwyer joke. As regards to sex, my wife is just like, what was that store called? Something City? Circuit City?
There was a Circuit City. There's also Shopper City. There was.
Regards to sex, my wife is like Circuit City. No interest until July of 2023. Something like that.
There you go.
I'm not saying you stole the joke. I'm just saying, but you didn't steal the joke. I'm just saying I enjoy humor.
It was parallel development.
So I watched a show that's pretty good. I started to watch a show that's pretty good that was recommended by Bruce Smith, my manager. And it was, I didn't mean to say that. It was just like my manager. This is the way I said it. It was, Fleischman is in Trouble.
Yeah.
And you've seen that?
I know of it. It was good.
I think it's very good.
I've heard it's enjoyable.
But
I hear that about so many shows. So many shows seem enjoyable.
But what stops you from engaging in that one? Like, it doesn't like say it's good. People say, whoa.
Nothing stopped me. Other things compelled me more.
Like basketball?
Sure, that'd be one.
And Bruce says Murder at the End of the World is good.
You lose me after Murder on pretty much everything.
But you've seen that, you're saying?
No, I'm saying once Murder's in the title, I'm not in the room generally.
This is, I didn't know that you watch no mysteries or Agatha Christie's or nothing.
None of it.
No true crime, nothing.
I watched some of the Only Murders in the Building, which broke my rule.
And those were sweet, right?
That was cute. I didn't keep watching it.
Because here's my question about it. I love all the people on that show, but can they make it compelling enough, the actual cases?
Not in my experience, no.
Right, but are you really concerned about who the guy is? Like at the end of the
never, at no point.
What if you saw Martin Short strangled on film, and then he almost was killed? Then you go, I got to watch this more because he could get killed or something.
Could he be killed as Clifford?
Who's Clifford? Is that another movie?
Yeah, it's a movie he made. Where he plays
that's
an 8-year-old.
The movie. That movie is the movie that Tom. What's the guy I like? Tom Sharpling. He loves that movie, but I think he's being sarcastic,
or at least stubborn.
Is it? But you never know with him if he's he will.
No, I could see how it could. I could see how, if you had no resistance to Martin Short, you could give yourself over to it, I guess. I was not able to at all.
And what is it about? Is he a dog?
No, he's a 8-year-old boy. Played when he was in his 50s sometime.
Why? Well, first of all,
I believe Charles Grodin was this co-star.
This is not a negative anything to do with Martin Short because I absolutely adore him. And he's been in a million movies. It's amazing how many movies, when you watch these old movies, oh, just shut up, Andy. Anyway, so, all right, I guess I blew that. Blew it.
You did? You're just done? You're just like walking away.
Oh no, Clifford. Okay, so Clifford. But Tom Shopling, he'll like celebrate the day the day the laughter died. You know, he got me into that dice thing. I hate dice, but that thing of him just blowing up in front of like 12 people is pretty funny. So it's like he likes things. He likes Morton Downey. Because he likes those kind of characters. He doesn't like Morton Downey.
Right. No, but he treasures discomfort.
He treasures discomfort is exactly what it is. And so is that what Clifford is like?
From my perspective, it is.
Yeah.
It fits the one category that I respect, which is big swing. Took a big swing.
Right.
And it was a big enough swing that I went to see it in the theater. I just didn't stay for the whole thing.
Well, now I'm afraid to watch it because I don't think I'd like it. Oh, well, just grow up, right?
Yeah.
What am I afraid of? Is it going to hit me in the head?
What are the stakes? Yeah, really, the question.
Well, this is what happened the other night that made me realize I have a lot of throwing out to do. I don't want to throw out everything because what if
are we talking metaphysical or physical?
No, I mean like
clutter,
specifically about albums,
okay,
DVDs. I'm not going to throw them out. I'm going to store them or whatever.
Why?
Because Susan wants some of her CDs. So maybe.
But some of them is different than all of them.
Right. So, for example, if I might keep Larry Sanders on DVD if the power goes out, if all that kind of thing happens. But in general, I wanted to watch Paragraph 175. So I have it on DVD. I put it in. I get the people watching. The people talking about the movie who were the directors. So I have no idea what's happening. I can't get it off.
You're watching
I can't figure
cut, yeah.
Right. So then I go and for $4 I rent it online and I watch it.
Right.
And to me in general that seems to be a better solution.
I think so. Especially if you can't run the DVD.
If you can't, right. And also like again, musicians were not paid well. It makes me angry, but I would not have been listening to all this fabulous music over the last couple of years without having the choice of listening to everything. Right? I mean, so it's like,
yes. Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know. I was like, yes.
No, but I mean, if I want to go, okay, so I went into a Queen thing. I wanted to see Under Pressure. I wanted to see so I was able to go all the way through, and I still,
if I recall, that video is all like stock public domain footage.
Oh no, I'm just listening. I never saw anything. What year is that from? 70s?
Late 70s, yeah.
Yeah. So Under Pressure is an unbelievable song, right? I loved it. But then Bohemian Rhapsody, I tried to like it.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand it. Do you get it better because that should be more of an age thing, right?
I don't know. It would be your age, not mine.
Is Queen that old?
Yeah. I was born in 1971.
Oh, so Mike Myers and those guys are making fun.
No, they're just saying that. I mean, in
Wayne's World.
In Wayne's World, that's just a song they got off on. It can happen.
But they're older than you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out this generation thing. I'm having a big problem with.
Yeah.
Like Gary Goldman, I'm listening to his book called Misfit, which is just incredible. I thought he was like 45 or something like that. But he's not. He's 53. He has a brother my age.
Yeah.
So that's why like he's doing these references in school that none of the, like some kid came in and ordered Sanko. So his brother taught him this kind of comedy. So he got off into this kind of comedy where like a kid would order a Sanko. He goes, oh, who are you? Marcus Welby? It was the who are you? Whatever thing. And so, but Gary was saying that none of the kids knew who Marcus Welby was. I didn't even remember that he was a spokesman for Sanko.
Robert.
So it is like a general. So it's fascinating to me to see what like, for example, just the very fact that and we've talked about this before, I have no relationship to the Muppets. It's very interesting to hear when people, like the monster at the end of the book. Did you ever read that?
No.
As a kid? Okay, it's who's the most beloved character, one of the most beloved characters from the Muppets? Like, kind of crazy. And the monster at the end of Elmo, I don't know who it is, but the monster at the end of the book turns out to be him.
What was it, Animal?
No. It was like one of the voices, one of the Muppets. And it's not Animal. No, Animal was on Lou Grant.
No.
So, but anyway.
But good. But good.
Thank you. So anyway, I have no relation to this.
No.
And then when you sing
that's
that song,
absolutely my generation. Is the Muppets? Yes.
That's right. And it's a very good point that I'm making. Is it boring? Yes.
But but the truth is that, and I was talking about this, I think with Segura, it was just like, it only takes 5 years difference for all your references to be totally different,
Well, he said that he loved the Muppets, and I think he also liked the Electric Company. There are things he liked, and I was just
I'm the same age as Goldman, basically.
Right. I
think he's a year older, but I think we graduated high school the same year.
Well, I think I had inferior children's. I had Captain Kangaroo does not relate. It does not live up to the Muppets level.
Well, no, but each generation, it's like the generation after ours gets Nickelodeon and gets like actual like mass amounts of children's programming.
Right.
As opposed to, we got Sesame Street, Electric Company, Mr. Rogers, and then we had to watch fucking reruns from Baby Boomers,
Well, I was watching
But once you grow up with all of this programming that's just for kids, you don't have to spend any time absorbing the previous generation's shit.
That's true. So, yeah.
Like, I was forced to learn about your generation sitcoms because that was what was on.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, but it wasn't so that's so crazy to me because, again, the Narcissist Guide to the Galaxy is everybody remembers Dick Van Dyke like I do. Everybody was 7 years old when Kennedy was shot.
Right.
And so it's just so incredibly illuminating. Did you like Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein? Did you get into that at all?
Never cared, no.
Okay. And what is it like Matt Weinhold and all these people who like Doctor Who? I love Matt Weinhold. I'm never going to have that kind of brain, right? That's going to like it. Do you watch Doctor Who?
Never.
And but people are talking about it all the time, online and elsewhere.
They are. Yes, indeed. There's a deep. I've even been to a Doctor Who based sci-fi convention. As a guest before, but
so I'm missing that gene or whatever. I don't know. I hate when people
you're
say
you're missing a particular boat, just like any other thing.
Yes,
but
yeah.
It's a 50-year show, so you're not going to catch up.
Well, I think the same is similar to superheroes. You're into the superheroes, and I just never going to be into it.
I'm not into the superheroes.
I know, but you enjoyed the Marvel superhero, the Marvel Gang of Four, the Marvel History of the Universe, was it?
Doesn't matter.
Come on, they had a Justice League of America fight, didn't they? Kind of. They had a fight.
They had the Avengers,
and they're called the Greatest Hits. They're called okay. So, I'm not going to be in those movies, and you're not going to be in those movies. No. But the other thing that's interesting is I'm not going to be in any movie.
No.
So
no.
But then the other thing that's kind of funny is I'm not getting called out for that many sitcoms, really.
No.
And then the other thing is, like, if you take yourself completely out of a loop, like performing,
all right,
nobody's
and literally take your pension.
Take my pension. And so every day I go, I don't really need to I got to work on that album. Or maybe I should count the days till till the end of the month when the SAG and the after pension come through. That tends to be, I'm not hungry anymore. Like I need to have an album. No, but I'm still, I joke, but people don't know that I'm joking. But I still am looking forward. I still love stand up, but I know that I'm rusty at it.
Yeah.
So, but this is a legacy thing. I could die next year. I want people. You think people are going to just? I need more stuff that people for that one day I'm never going to get that day. We are interrupting our programming to announce something very, very sad. Comedian Andy Kindler has died. He's 87. He was 87, or you might have remembered him.
He kept saying he was 87. He was actually 68.
He was a second banana on Everybody Loves Raymond.
He aspired to second banana.
That's right. He's not even second banana. It's so weird. Chopin is such a weird thing that you would be like top banana. You're the second banana. Like Jeff, what's his name, told me years ago. I'm Carl Reiner. He's Sid Caesar. Garland, Jeff Garland. On the way to the car. He said, look, here's the thing. Some people are the guy. Some people are the guy who's behind the guy. You're the guy behind the guy. I'm the guy. You're Carl Reiner. I'm Sid Caesar. They can't both be the top dog. There's got to be a top dog and there's got to be a dog underneath it. And he got mad at me because I held on to that anger for about 25 years and just inappropriately let it go in a tweet. Hey, fuck Jeff Gowan. Why are you all of a sudden talking negatively about you? Know why I'm talking negatively about you? Because of the way you talked to me in a parking lot in Santa Monica 34 years ago. Well, this is like the person who's a crazed, like can't let a grudge go. Of course, but doesn't understand why anybody else. Are you kidding me? You don't have posters of the people you hate on your wall? What are you, nuts? All right, I lost the character. I had a good character there for a couple of seconds going. It was consistent.
You don't keep a grudge card catalog?
A card catalog. This is stuff like, what would be the update of the card? Like if you're a comic in the 40s and go, oh, what are you doing over there? Keeping a card catalog? What would you say now?
A grudge spreadsheet.
What are you, an Excel expert? Okay, that was wrong. Now, I know you hate when
I'm just mad at people who excel.
That's true. I don't like the word excel not used in relationship to me. I know you hate when the show gets this way, and I do too. When we just get. I was very excited that the Jets said, but did the Vikings win? I didn't hear.
No, they lost.
Oh, and they're still eligible. This is the year they're still eligible this year.
They're mathematically eligible.
Right.
There's absolutely no chance of them.
What do you think's happening with the dogs?
With the dogs? My dogs?
Yeah.
They're barking at a thing.
And that's so weird. What we are kind of barking, right, as people? I mean, at some level.
Yes.
Oh, you see Ricky Gervais? He says this exactly his thing. He goes, great news. I'm number one in the world. And even better news, Netflix has to pay me even more for my next special. And that means more money for the animals. Ugh. Isn't there just something sickening about him?
I mean, who talks about their kids like that?
But what he's saying is, it's good that he's getting $300 and $400 million from Netflix. That's good.
Right. Because it helps some.
Because
the
he's
entire
right.
food chain
If
benefits.
he wouldn't be helping animals, they're not going to be helped.
Right.
Right? So we need to be excited that he's number one so that he can keep giving money to the charities that he wants to give money to. And we should all be excited about that.
Right. Where I would go, skip the middleman. Netflix gives some money to the animals.
But the other thing that's so ridiculous about it is all his tweets, like 24 hours or 48 hours of tweets, number one in here, number one in Japan, number one in Belgium. How could it not be number one Netflix thing? How could it not be? It's the number one thing that's being promoted on the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for that day,
right.
For December 25th,
right.
After massive promotion. I'm not saying he's not popular. I hate that I'm saying I don't hate these people, I just hate him.
Right.
But just the idea that he spends 3 or 4 days, that's all he cares about. He doesn't go, oh, someone liked a joke that it's like number one in the world.
All right. For a minute. There was a thing that I just read something, I think maybe Washington Post or whatever, but talking about because Netflix released a bunch of their data this year for the first time ever.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh.
And one
Oh,
of
like who's popular, you mean?
and one of the just like what got watched and how many hours and all that stuff. And one of the things that sort of got revealed is just how fucking poorly stand-up actually does on the thing.
Even the Chappelle, it's just like
Chappelle did well, but even that, numbers-wise, it does not at all compared to the kind of money they're spending.
Right. It's just ridiculous. All they're really giving is they're giving assholes a bigger megaphone. That's what Ricky Gervais is going, I get to get more money out of them. I mean, it's like he's adversarial. Like, fuck you, Netflix. You're going to have to pay me. You're going to have to pay me more next time.
Yeah. Like
I hope.
That's one of those things where it's like, I don't like either person, so I don't care. I don't like Netflix, and I don't.
I know. I know, but it's like I'm going around to see what's. As you know, I spend $700 to $800. I'm not sure how much I spend, but over $1,000 to $2,000 a month in various cable subscriptions.
Right.
Hulu got it, and a YouTube package with the NFL package. YouTube with the NFL package. Yes.
Does that get you? Does that get you a YouTube without ads too? As
no,
part, it doesn't even.
It just gets me the football package, which I love. I love it, and I might get into it because that's really my favorite sport. Although Gary Coleman really reminded me of you because, and I think you really like his book. It's called Misfit, and I get $1 every time I say it. But why he loves basketball. Because I guess he's a good basketball. I don't know anything about him. He's supposed to be a good basketball player.
I don't know. I think he's more to the point. He's a super fan of the game.
He's a super fan. Just talking about how, and just he lays it down. There's not the same violence, and just as to learn to play it too.
Right.
There's not as much violence. Just explaining the beauty of the sport. And it was like, I wish Josh was here, snuggled with me, listening to my audio book.
It's like, yes, it's good. Basketball's good.
It's good. Well, and I had to say to myself, well, of course basketball was better for me. I could get picked even if I got picked last, and I didn't get killed.
Right.
I didn't normally get killed when you played 2-on-2 and 3-on-3.
No.
I didn't get worried like the one time I played tackle football unauthorized, and the ball was kicked and nobody wanted to pick it up. And somebody goes, oh, fuck it, I'll pick it up. Because we're playing with no helmets, and we're just stupid young children.
Yeah. It's kids playing football, that's called,
Yeah. What's that?
Kids playing football. That's what that's
Kids playing football. And I told you about the time that I went out for the Little League or whatever the hell it was. And my parents said, you're not going to really want to do that. And I went there and then they made fun of me. And the guy kept using me as a thing going, I'll start the little guy if you keep being assholes. Stuff like that.
So at least that's the only way you could be a threat.
Right. I could be a threat against them. And also, it is absolutely true that I broke my arm rushing to get to the foul line so I could shoot to be eligible to play in the gym. That's why I broke my arm.
Oh, okay.
You would break ranks, you ran to the foul line, and the first guys to get it in would be the captains of the team, which never, happened once every 40 years. But I actually broke my arm in haste.
Wow.
That's sad.
That's
not that sad. Who cares?
I feel bad for young Andy. With the broken arm.
So, did we talk about did you enjoy playing basketball?
I was a terrible basketball player.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you don't enjoy watching the game. That's the thing.
Correct.
Do you like Steve Kerr?
I do.
I do like that Steve Kerr. Why can't he be our coach? I don't know who we are exactly.
Are
we the Lakers?
Sure.
And the Knicks are not doing badly either. This is the part of the show that people, I think, actually switch. I mean, this is the part of the show that never makes it to the show, hopefully.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And what do you think the chances are going to be in the wild card? See, that's that type of thing. I think even our biggest fans, who include, I can't think of one person, Stephen Elton Yates, he might go, no, stop doing that. Why am I so concerned? I never knew I was so concerned about what other people thought. Did you ever think about that?
I 100% knew that you were concerned about what other people thought more than most.
Do you really say? You don't see me as a carefree kind of guy?
I wish. That's what I wish for you.
But that wouldn't be funny though. If I was carefree and I would go, "How are you today, Josh?"
I don't know. It would be so pattern breaking that it might be funny for a while.
Well, what it would be? What if I was less funny and really had more intelligent? and it would bring a bunch of people
Are we in
to the
Are we in
table.
Three Wishesville right now? What is this?
I don't know. The thing about podcasts is no matter what the topic you can't take any topic and go, this is foolproof. You'll never get tired of it. Any topic.
True.
Radio Lab.
That's why we have algorithms now, just to mix things up for you. I've been watching a lot of YouTube, and YouTube has like the stickiest fucking algorithms. They will just, if you watch one thing, they will ram 1,000 more of it down your throat real fast.
Is that an algorithm really? Is so much just a
tripwire? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you need an algorithm to pull out words like and then to bombard you. I know they do have.
I was looking at a couple things about watches, and then suddenly I'm in the midst of. I'm just like immersed in watch douche world, which is a deep, deep pool of douche.
You mean about wristwatches?
Wristwatches, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which is a really interesting douche hobby. It really is, because it's so tied into money.
Yes.
That
you have to have a lot of money to be a collector.
I mean, if you're that kind of collector, it's like I love watches and I have a bunch of them, but I don't think I have one that's over $1,000.
Do you have a Tag Heuser?
Tag Heuer? No, I don't. Because I thought because those are boring to me.
Yeah.
But
Susan and I were just watches.
But it is all about secret code. I'm wearing a watch. You don't know anything about watches, so this could be a $10,000 watch or a $200 watch.
Right, I wouldn't know.
And you wouldn't know unless you cared about watches. And the only reason people care about watches are either I care about watches or I care about your wealth.
Although my dad gave me his see-through Accutron, so I treasure that.
Yeah.
You can see through it to the insides.
Sure. And
so that was like a collector item type thing. I'll show you it, and then you'll say, no, because we were into swatches for a little while.
Yeah.
Susan and I, we liked swatches.
I liked swatches too when I was younger.
Right.
Still have a couple around.
I collected pocket watches for the 2 weeks that I had two of them.
Yeah.
I thought that I would be an adult who would have let me show you that, Eddie. I got a beauty in this week.
Yeah.
Is that a Fosglangier? Is that a Fosglangier with the European swing to it? That type of thing.
Right. What you were looking for was an affectation, not a hobby.
Well, no, my parents... once I wanted to sign up for a course where you get to have a bird on your shoulder afterwards.
Sure.
What's your take on is the bird's on the person's shoulder? What is the relational element, do you really think, between the bird and the human?
It's close. They're very close.
So have you ever experienced that yourself with a bird?
No, I've had dogs.
Yeah, but birds... But don't you feel guilty about birds in cages and stuff like that? It doesn't seem right to me.
Not really. I mean, I don't feel great about it, but it's mostly because they're annoying.
Or, yeah, okay, well, I want to set them free or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's not always a good idea.
It isn't always a good idea. I think that this went far longer. I think I ran out of material like at a quarter of the hour. Or not. That's assuming I had material.
Right. And yet you never asked about my Christmas. Think about it.
I did. You don't have Christmas. You're a Jew.
Who's my wife?
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Well, she is Christian.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you said
Great.
you had the braised duck.
No, you said that. And I said I didn't.
Gonna take a little break. Gonna take a little break now. Gonna take a little break. Gonna take a little break now. Gonna take a little break. Please stop talking for a moment. Take a little break now. Gonna take a little break. Please stop talking. Gonna take a little break. If it's in your power. Break now. Gonna take a little break. Just stop talking. Gonna take a little break for a minute. Gonna take a little break now. Gonna take a little break.
so I can stomach another hour.
Take a little break now. Take a little break.
So sorry about everything.
I like a blanket apology. That I can work with.
Wait, you can keep bringing it back up when every time something happens.
Right.
Hey.
Remember, you apologized for this.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to be funny now. That's not good enough.
That's not good. Thank God you
Right.
Thank God you apologized.
Well, here's the thing. You know when I tell you about stuff and it happens, and this is going to be very horrible if I mess this up. Okay,
Let me just say
Move
that
it.
Susan did a nice job on your head this time.
I don't know. It's all flattened down, right?
No, it's good. Looks good.
That's my first sip of coffee.
Ah.
Wow.
Will you,
Boy,
will you be narrating subsequent ones?
It's like a play-by-play of death. So what happened was, Josh,
Yeah.
you didn't ask me what happened. Again, I'm apologize because I'm not usually 6 minutes late, but we're starting at 6 in the morning. I didn't even know you could get a signal this early. Get a signal?
Get a signal?
But I wanted to, we're starting at 8, and I know there's going to be trees happening, so hopefully we can, maybe trees at 9 starting at the front of the building.
Maybe we can fell this show before they get to the trees.
No wonder why you enjoy the morning.
I'm the best. I'm the best.
You're so great in the morning. You're the best. We should switch to 7 o'clock. So anyway, I was dying to show you, not dying, but excited to show you my new headset.
Okay.
And then I was thinking, what's the point? Well, it feels good. Feels good.
That's good.
And I was like,
how's it sound?
I was going to ask you, how does it sound?
Yeah, that would be a bad, stupid question to ask me.
How does it sound?
That might be why your hair looks better, though. Because there aren't giant earmuffs around it.
I don't know. Why did I go with those earmuffs? You know what? You know what it is? And I'm very excited to say this about my new. I don't even know the brand name of it. EBEUAAA. But they fit in my ear.
I think the EB stands for earbud, actually.
I don't think. I think those aren't even. That's true. They fit very comfortably, more like open air. They don't, because I used to have these Beats. You tried the Beats, right?
I had the Beats.
They plunge into your ear. The thing plunges.
A little too much pluggy. A little too much. It's a little too claustrophobic.
I'm walking around
It's a little claustrophobic in there.
I'm making this sound. Motion with my face. I can't hear you.
I'm trapped in a world of artificially boosted bass.
Now, I assume they fixed that.
I don't know.
I don't know if they fixed
Maybe
that.
people adjusted to Dre.
Well, this could be an answer because, I have AirPods popping out of my head every 5 minutes. I have various ways to keep the AirPods in the head.
Do you think that might be a blood pressure thing?
Is that a doctor would ask that? Okay, so why do you think you have elevated levels? Well, like for example, I'm listening to music. My
earpods literally shoot out the side of my head.
I walked by your house yesterday, and this is how stupid I am. No, I'm not stupid. You say I'm stupid.
Come on, fix it. I don't call you stupid. I think you're very smart. Very, very smart.
I walk by your house, and I see, ooh, the garage is open. Whoa. So then I say, just keep walking, stupid. And so I keep walking, but I still, at some point I said, if you go walk into the area right now, there's going to be somebody maybe there. Because the garage is open.
Well, and we'd know you, and it would be a pleasant thing.
It would be a pleasant thing, but I had to get home. I still have that time to look at your new.
Well, thankfully, my neighbor came and knocked on my door around 9 o'clock and said your garage door's open. So, so thanks a lot, pal. Thanks for the help.
It wasn't open.
It was inadvertently.
Purpose.
It was inadvertently open. Yes.
Oh my God! In other words, you could have been killed because I didn't want to be seen looking at you.
Yes. In fact, consider the blood on your hands anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Because of everything in the Middle East? No. Look, here's the thing. That is the way I do feel.
I like that you weren't willing to help me because you were afraid of seeing me.
No, what I was afraid of doing was, I was afraid of being like, hey, hi, I just saw your garage sale yourself in. So if you had seen nobody there, I wouldn't have gone further into it and started knocking.
First of all, you know what list you're on around here, Andy?
What's that?
The always welcome list. It's a short list.
This guy is in the building. His welcome mat, which I don't have, says hi on the way in. And then as you leave, it says bye. It's cold.
Wow.
It's cold.
It's magical, really.
Hi. Bye. That's the way I say it. But that's not the way it's meant to say. So
No,
hi.
mine's more sarcastic. Mine says hi when you come in and then so soon as you're leaving.
Uh-oh. You just gave me an idea of where the next big money could be at. Right?
Welcome mats?
Welcome mats.
Unwelcome mats is really what you're talking about.
Unwelcome mats. Funny, unwelcome mats. And the fact is, you can make them. Why would be the thing that you could make them easy on your 3D printer, maybe? What was that? What did I just do with my mucus?
You did a crowd rallying drum part.
I wanted to do ba 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 ba.
Let's go. Yeah, you did, and you pulled it off.
It's not really.
We all heard it. We can all attest that you.
I don't want to say it's not like I don't want people to think it's disgusting. It's just existing phlegm.
I don't think you can talk them out of it being disgusting. It's a pretty base reaction.
I almost. You were almost in serious trouble because I almost spilled the coffee, asshole. Look what you almost did.
Wow.
Did you ever have that time? Is this a part of life that people go through, or is it a bit that people do about other people who are selfish? Oh, look what you did, even when you know you did it.
Is that a bit that? I don't know.
I think it's a within family thing.
If it's Trump, it's real, for example. Oh God! Are you okay? Are you okay?
It hit me. No,
I'm worried over here.
You know, when you hear Trump's name, you try many different ways to express displeasure. So that was more like, oh, don't start with me. You're going to get my what happens here? What's the word? It's not an anxious. Okay, don't give me the clue. It's when you have a rib. It's like the thing in here, and it gets to you in your stomach. I can't think of the word.
Tapeworm?
No, ulcer. Ulcer.
Oh, okay.
That was the worst guest I think you've ever, not guest, worst guest you've ever made. Tapeworm?
Well, all the places you were pointing were off camera, so give me at least that.
What if there was a guy and he was a Jeopardy winner and he was trying to help someone through a terrible accident, but he for some reason had done Jeopardy so long he couldn't just say what's wrong with the person. He had to ask them. He had to get them to ask a question.
People of Austin, I apologize in advance.
What is I'm bleeding out? Yes, you're bleeding out. You're bleeding out. How could you not get that one from all the blood that was around you?
I'll take I smell bread for 400.
When do you smell bread? Is that when you get a toast, a stroke toast, a toast stroke?
Yeah, it's a basic dying thing. It's just basic kind of. I got it from a MASH episode.
I've never been fully punched in my
bread.
I've never been fully punched in my nose.
No,
but I have had that feeling of what that would. I don't know what is it. It smells weird or it's terrible. Something happens where you go, oh, I'm glad I didn't get that harder.
Yeah.
Have you seen stars? Have you been punched in the nose? Probably not, right?
No, but I took a softball to the nose and broke it.
Oh, that was the other thing that Gary Goldman was saying about why he liked basketball. Because there's no fucking balls slamming against your head at 55 miles an hour. And that is a true thing that always bothered me about any kind of softball and I didn't play baseball.
Right.
Probably for that reason.
That's why you're using 55 miles an hour as a...
Because that really is true. I could not be a pitcher, be like, I can't be a pitcher anymore, Coach Zimmerman. Bob Dylan is now coaching
Wow.
and using his regular name. Because I don't want to get hit in the head with a goddamn ball, Mr. Zimmerman.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How'd they even get this?
Well, put
sport?
on a goddamn helmet and suck it up.
Bob. And the other teammates going, fucking Dylan doesn't even know how the game is played.
Sit down, Kindler. I'm getting a non-Jew.
He doesn't even know. And the other guy goes, he doesn't have to know how to be a good Little League coach, right?
Shut up.
Not the great Dylan.
My Dylan is now just little Richard in Dylan's voice. Shut up.
Shut up. My stomach doesn't feel well. Get the fuck out of here. I just saw the worst thing I think I've seen since I started watching this thing. I saw
the stabbing across the street from your house.
Can't bring that up anymore or something. Everyone's okay. And it was just over a parking spot.
That's right.
But here's the thing.
It wasn't real crime.
Oh,
it was frustration.
I had a great story to say, too.
No,
now I've lost
the worst thing you've seen. That was your on-ramp. The worst thing I've seen.
Oh, Pete Michaels. That's not his name, but I'm getting close. He's a horrible Al Michaels. He's starting last night. I assume the Jets lost, but I'm still watching the game. Did they lose?
Didn't pay attention.
You didn't pay attention?
No.
Why would you pay attention? It doesn't count. But Pete Michaels.
Much as I want to get into the habit of that Thursday night Amazon game, I just am not there yet.
Well, then, maybe that's because they're not trying hard enough with the advertising. So Al Michaels, he starts going into this Howard Cosell impression.
Oh no!
And it's a terrible impression.
He doesn't. He didn't even mention either of the boxers' names.
And he's doing this, and the other guy I don't know who the other guy is, but I don't think he likes Al Michaels. I don't think they get along. I don't know who that guy is. Should I know who he is? I thought maybe I did know him.
As I said, I haven't caught on to the Thursday night Amazon game, so I don't exactly know who.
Oh, is that the only thing he calls now? I think you're right. Is the Thursday night Amazon football game. And he is just relentless. He says to the guy says to him, does not know what to say after the 15th version of what does not sound like Howard Cosell, right? Uh-huh. The 15th version of, and here we are, Dandy Don. How's it going, Dandy Don? And then the guy goes, hey,
did I tell you John Lennon died?
And the guy says to Al Michaels, the other guy who's talking in the booth, says, that's just good. He says, that's good. That's pretty good. In which Al Michaels has to, at some point, go, oh, yeah, it's good. I mean, Al Michaels knows it's not good, but he can't stop being not that entertaining and very, very boring.
Right. Now, I have a suspicion that it actually isn't that bad an impression, but you're just hearing yours in your head.
Oh, no, because I know it. No, okay, I'm going to do mine again, and then someone can point in with Al Michaels. This is Howard Cosell.
No.
Tonight, Tito Fuentes will be fighting against Roberto Domingo from Peru.
Well, isn't it Roberto Dobisar? Isn't it Dobisar?
Roberto because he was the dictator, right? Roberto Dobisar. You know, I can't even do it anymore. Maybe it's not Al. Maybe it's not me.
Maybe it's
the fact that it's boring.
Time has faded.
Time has faded. It's like if you went and you pulled out dialogue from the Monday night guys with Howard, and you probably wouldn't be laughing that much like they were laughing.
Much, no.
It was better than Dennis Miller and Al Michaels.
Yes, lots of things are.
And so they have a thing now in Thursday Night Football. They have a dog who's a mascot as part of the show.
Woof!
And he's on the sidelines. I'm not watching because the Jets are losing, so I'm trying to make coffee.
Right.
He goes, look, you know, and Al Michaels says, I don't even know what his voice sounds like. It's so boring. He goes, I wasn't even a dog guy. until I met Schmeckles, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Al Michaels. So I was going, I wasn't even a dog guy. What are you in anything of Al Michaels? You don't particularly like people. You don't even like football that much, or whatever the thing it is. How long did it get into
off the table?
Vegetables are off the table. I won't even repeat it. And then he starts saying, "Did you broadcast baseball?" He says to Al Michaels. He goes, "Yeah, I did it for like 10 years." And how was it? The guy says. This guy's not even trying to gild the lily.
These are the conversations of a not very good game going on.
Yeah, that's
what it sounds like to me.
And how was it when you were? He goes, "Oh, it was complicated." He said, "Al Michaels, it's complicated, but I got some of the greatest stories. I'll tell you that one." Oh, but we're not going to hear one of the stories, or you're not going to even say what the nature of the story was? So in other words, you're a boring man who is going to reference fantastic things that happened in the past while you were unable to broadcast properly baseball.
Wow. That is almost as bad as ranting about announcers. All right, we're going to questions. That was a lull, even if it was coffee caused.
Okay.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
A lot of rustiness going down with this week off. A lot of rustiness.
Are you saying that normally? Normally, you know what? I've almost started to say normally again. It's terrible. It's terrible. I was thinking about the other day, though. I was thinking about, before you get to the first question, I was thinking about things I say at home, and whatever it is I say to Susan is like, "How's this? That was good, right?" I was like, who would want to even forget about making a movie about me? Who would want to make a life about me? Pickle says, "How do people describe the sound of a tornado before there were freight trains?" I don't even really quite get that. Do you? They sound like a freight train?
That is well, it's because you're from the East Coast. But yes, a tornado approaching is often described by witnesses as it sounded like a freight train coming down.
What are you? Who are you, Dorothy? Now? Who are you?
Someone funnier?
No, somebody. You're saying you're pretending you're from that
the
area
Midwest, Minnesota,
where they have twisters.
The center of the country.
You were not. You were Minneapolis. Not even the center. It's the northern. Is really not the Midwest. Because if it is, we're in trouble, people. Who's with me? The guy from St. Paul knows what I'm getting warmed up. I'm not going to that city. The guy from El Paso is looking a little weird. And you were worried about how the show was going to go.
No, I was certain it would go this way.
And did you want to answer Pickle's question? Because I have no desire to.
I would say they said stampede before that, but it didn't matter because there was no newscast. Shecky Flop Sweat says, "Andy, I sympathize with not being able to describe your beliefs about eternal consciousness, etc. I've listened to thousands of hours of non-dualist philosophy, and I couldn't explain it with a gun to my head. But when I'm listening to it, I really feel like I get it, and that makes sense, and that it makes sense on a level beyond the physical."
Shecky, you're absolutely right. And the only thing that makes me feel like not qualified to answer your question is in this moment.
Not a question, by the way.
I know, but to comment on it. In this moment, and maybe forever, I don't know what non-dualism is. Have you heard of non-dualism? Is like, what does that mean? And so that makes me again think more. Why am I believing these things when you have a guy like Elvis Weinstein going, yeah. Tell me again. I'm all about it there, non-dual face. Do you know what non-dualism is? Just say yes or no.
I don't know officially. I'm contextualizing it. I'm trying to imagine the dualism being man and God.
Oh, non-dual, right?
Exactly. But I can't. That's that's my stab.
I believe in non-dualism, but
what I liked about it was just how concise it was. So concise.
But what I like about non-dualism is about how linear it is when you think about it.
I like non-dualism because I fucking fly solo, baby. Woo!
Hey, look, or as the great Rich Scheidner would say, after doing coke for 16 hours, you say things like, I don't know if there is a God, but if there is a God, I think it could be me. Christopher Citro says, Happy New Year, guys. That's not New Year. Did I read the wrong question?
It is New Year in our podcast land.
Oh, that's right.
Fucking adjust, for God's sakes. Just
God damn it,
just
you've
like
yelled at
3
me.
degrees. That's all you have to adjust.
I can't believe how much champagne I had last night.
Really?
Oh, God,
wow,
drunk.
Wow.
Drunk. And when Dick Clark came back from death,
and then you had to wake up for the Rose Bowl parade?
I couldn't believe it. Christopher Citrus says, Happy New Year, guys. Thank you for all the hours of audio enjoyment.
Clap, clap, clap. Don't forget the clap.
My girlfriend can play Rock You Like a Hurricane on her ukulele. What's something your wife does which makes you want to run across the room and gather her in your arms? For me, she makes a signal that we're going to have, would you like to have sex? She goes,
finger through the hole.
Yeah, finger. And then she does it with her, she goes like a little thing with her, she points to it with her thumb.
Yeah.
My wife, anytime my wife will be Gracie or some form of the other person in the act. I love that.
When she'll
and
literally just play along, yeah.
She does it more than people would imagine.
No, I found it's easier to play along than push back a lot of the time.
She likes me. She enjoys all my little games.
I still her quote of the year for me at least is, "What are you, a baby?"
She says now that she may not have exactly said it that way, but she did have that. She did. She. You know what? She got this woman got me. She nailed me, man. I got it right or something.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, baby.
Stephen Elton Yates says, "Hey, gents, I can't recall either of you giving your opinion of champagne. Speaking of which, do you enjoy the bubbly? How often? Any brand preferences?"
Well, I'm happy to weigh in on this because I always have a.
Imagine. Sorry.
What does that joke mean? What? Oh, wait, everybody. Years ago, I was a waiter in California. I was a waiter in the years 1983 or something, or before 83. Maybe it was 82 and 81. Uh-huh. And a guy at the restaurant, we went to wine shows to get more acquainted with getting wasted. And so he introduced me to Schramsberg, which I still love. So Schramsberg is my go-to champagne that I always will get, usually, and also recommend. But then I have to admit that on some level, if it's all really good champagne, I really sometimes can't tell the difference.
Yeah. And what is a bottle of Schramsberg go for?
30. It's about $40 unless you buy 6 of them at Pavilions.
10% off.
Yeah. $40.
And is it a true champagne?
Yeah, it's made in it's absolutely. Well, they can't call it champagne, obviously.
Well, no, they can if it's a true champagne.
No, it's not. I'm sorry.
That's why I'm asking.
I apologize. May you please accept my apologies. It is not champagne. It is sparkling. It is in fact sparkling wine. So the only thing I could say for the French is I've had Veuve Clicquot. I've had even the Dom Perignon, and I don't know that I can tell the difference between them.
I don't like champagne to begin with, very much.
Yeah,
I do.
You don't?
I have.
Doesn't it get you kind of like high?
Well, I mean, alcohol does in general. You know, if you keep at it, it'll.
No,
do
better
it.
than beer though. Beer doesn't get you high in a
Not
good
really,
way.
No. But either to champagne, but because I stopped because I don't like it that much.
Neither one of us. And we'll be back with Jews.
No, I enjoy drinking. Don't get me. Don't lump me into the teetotaling Jew category because I enjoy drinking. But champagne, I do like. I mean, it's one of the. It's true with most wine for me. Is when you start getting expensive, I start liking it, and it's not because of the price. It really is like where the difference lies.
I think if you
I do like Dom Perignon
yes.
more than a low-end moe, say. You know,
I think you're right. That you're definitely right.
I totally taste the difference, you know.
And I cannot drink Corbel and those type of things and enjoy them, really. They're pretty terrible.
Mums.
Well, Mums is made anything is. I just want to tell people so I can sound like Blowhardy that if you get anything that's method champenoise, method champenoise, it means it was made. It was fermented in the bottle. Method traditionnel chimpanzee. Wow. I said traditional
Nothing
chimpanzee.
makes you sound dumber than trying to sound smart. It really is.
And well, I mean, every day you're talking about my normal voice. Dan D says, if a stranger asked you what the best resolution they could make for themselves be, that's a little bit weird. They can make for themselves be for 2024. What would you suggest? P.S. Thanks for all you do. And I would say the best resolution is, I don't have it.
Well, if a stranger asked me, I'd say something like, well, definitely lose weight.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't suggest you do that.
I would say stop asking strangers these questions.
That's right. But you didn't hear the question or saw the question, so you can't comment. So go to Grow now.
All right. Grow says, kudos to Andy. Never been talked out of my faith in God by someone justifying their own. Just kidding. I think what Andy was saying was humanity has known a lot of things intrinsically that were later proven by science. A kind of God's existence may become one of those things.
Oh, I definitely agree with, it's definitely agreeing with that rather than some of the very complicated theories that I was hesitant to go through. Well, thank you, Grow. Josh is making a face, but thank you. BD West says, Andy, at what age can someone wear reflective gear while urban hiking without their friends and loved ones ridiculing them endlessly? I'm thinking 70 or 75 at the youngest. Josh, you wouldn't mercilessly chide Andy for trying to stay safe out there, would you? This is a good question.
Not mercilessly, no. But the guy still shows up with a fucking mask on to see you outside. So there's a little bit of a balance that one has to.
Well, I
still have my dignity is my point. At some point, I can't just let it all go.
Well, I always wished that all the shoes were reflective at night or something, because my night running is really getting dangerous.
You know what? Maybe you're the one that needs to be reflective.
Julianne
Maybe reflectiveness comes from inside, Andy. Maybe it's not what you tape onto your jacket.
By the way, I felt bad our last session. I didn't say that was fun or good job, and you certainly didn't pick up the slack.
No, I don't. Just for the record, I don't need that.
Julian Valentich says, been in Cincinnati since Christmas, as Mrs. Valentich is from here. Any Cincy stories, comedy related or otherwise? Thank you for another great year of spiraling, gentlemen. Slow down in 2024. Anything but. What do you got for? You've never been to Cincinnati, maybe?
I have been to Cincinnati. I've never worked in Cincinnati. It was always, I would fly into Cincinnati to go to Louisville or something like that. But I've worked all over Ohio, but never Cincinnati specifically, I don't think.
But so you do or don't enjoy the local dish? It's
horrible.
I have to admit that the local dish, after you have it 2 or 3 times,
there probably is another local dish besides their affront to food that is Cincinnati chili, but
Skyline, that's one of the ones. Skyline chili.
That's the chain.
Well, I loved it when I was there bombing. I was bombing at the club and trying to make up for it with my chili
carbs.
You see, the thing is, if you go to a town like Cincinnati, they're not even excited about their one thing. Like that.
Yeah.
So now that you come in and go, you can't tell me where to go there. You get a couple of people go, oh, you have to go by this place.
It's really,
but it's basically spaghetti.
It's spaghetti with chili on it, and then a bunch of cheese, and you can have it any. There's all these levels of shit you can pour on them. But at its base, it's still a fucking travesty. Shecky Flopsweat says, hey, gents, did either or both of you start burping every time you get up from a couch after you turn 50? Or just me and my wife? Start burping at 50. I don't know about that.
I would hate to think that would be something that became something I do all the time without noticing it. I don't think I do burp every time I get up.
No, I don't think I do either. So it is just you and your wife.
Just him and Checky Flopsweat's wife.
Not you.
Mrs.
Yeah,
Flopsweat.
you weren't the you in that sentence.
I think that maybe you two guys are like so in love that you notice all of this. Okay. I messed up that quote. I feel like I'm drunk now. Did you drink before the show? Halpin Fraser says, welcome back, gentlemen. Have either of you seen the sappy and awful Chevy commercial?
It's a Chevy. It's not Chevy. God damn.
I said Chevy. I said Chevy with all of force that meant that I was right. Hey, Jensen, did either of you start? No. Welcome back, gentlemen. Have either of you seen the sappy and awful Chevy? I can't say Chevy. You finish it for me.
Chevy commercial? That implies their vehicles can cure Alzheimer's.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't. Is it like, I found your old truck, Dad. Ba-da-da. That reminds me. I don't.
Hey, did you hear that Uncle Sal is really having a bad time with his Alzheimer's? Get him into the car. Put him in the Chevy. Man, I always top you. You got to admit. Mort says, happy holidays to you both. Hope you both are doing well. It's been a rough holiday, at least for me. So I got something funny. Oh, at least for me. So I got something funny to say. Of course, it's a Mort-related joke. How many people does it take to change the light bulb in the morgue? None. They're all dead. Well, I'm have to tell you, Mort.
Is this supposed to be a tribute to you and your character?
Well, I think what it is, Mort has now, I think the question, Mort, and don't get upset that I'm going to correct your question, but I think it should be, how many dead people does it take to change the light bulb in the morgue?
No. You ruined an already bad joke. Way to go.
There are people who work in the morgue who aren't dead. They come in, they see if everything's slabbed up good.
Yeah.
And they check the lighting, they check the drip on the dead person to see if they're still...
The drip on the dead person?
They put IV drips in case... People don't know this. For at least a week after someone dies, they keep them an IV drip.
Yeah, and every hour they bring in the paddles and go, clear!
That is funny. Mort, I appreciate that, but... okay.
Wow, nicely played. Thank you.
Nicely played, Mort. All right, now we're moving, unless you have something else.
Andy Kindler, Comedy Cul-de-sac. And we're going to the gram. We're going to go to the gram. Delicious Mick says, Merry whatever and happy hoo-ha. Hope you're both swell. What do you guys think of the footwear currently known as Crocs? For 'em? Against 'em? Indifferent? Crocs have kind of become their own religion in the sense that I'm obliged to respect people's right to live that way. I don't want to get involved and it looks stupid. Well, unless you're a short order cook or a skipper or a third thing. I'll take my answer on the pod. Peace and biscuits, man boys. Man boys.
I thank you for that, and I also don't I don't understand Crocs. I think Crocs are like people who run in marathons barefoot, isn't it? It doesn't feel good.
No.
Doesn't feel good, right?
I think they do feel good. I think that's the only
for
thing.
You or the Crockers.
Huh?
For you, if you put them on tomorrow, you'd be going, oh, finally. Or for these Croc people, it feels good.
I think the comfort is the baseline selling point of the Croc.
Really?
I think so.
Does it have a nice insole and a thing?
You're asking me about Crocs, really? You're asking me for more than a very superficial take on Crocs? Because I don't have one. I really don't. But I think, it's kind of like, do you remember when Zubas were a thing? Those big, billowy, kind of like wrestler pants?
Oh, I think I do, maybe.
It's like,
is that what it is?
It's like at some point you just go, my life is over, and I don't mind being an embarrassing spectacle.
Aren't they what sandals were? Isn't that what they are? Sandals?
They're like an open air shoe, kind of.
When I
I
was
don't know.
a kid,
I'm wearing a pair of Vans right now, so I don't have a lot of ground to stand on.
well, when I was a kid, I wore flip flops. You put the flip flops on when you're at the beach. The stupidest shoe I've ever. I hate the beach in New York because it was Jones Beach, but out here I like it. But the flip flop, you can't walk in them. I don't understand what the point of a flip flop is. Maybe you can explain it.
No, I
to
don't
me.
think I want to.
Because it's not good for the toe between the big toe and the thumb toe. Is that? I don't know if it's called the thumb toe, but that's what I call
it.
it.
In your world.
I stubbed my thumb toe. Owie, 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 owie.
How about people who walk barefoot everywhere? They work in a lime shop, LIME or L. What is the lime that you pour when you murder somebody? Is that lime?
That's what I toast. I put that in my beverage when I toast my murder.
You can tell I've exited the question, right?
I did, yeah. I think that lime is still spelled lime, by the way.
Oh, okay. But it's not lie, right?
No.
Is that what he said?
That's
okay.
a different thing. That's another thing.
I'm thinking from Goodfellas. We don't have. I don't have any more Pete Moss. He says, or something like that.
No, Pete Moss was a character in it.
Remember that guy? He was always Pete. Call me Pete. Pete Moss.
Sweet Jimmy T says, you boys have any experiences with fake watches? I think it's my new favorite dumb hobby in the interwebs. Rolex, Omega, Casio. It's dumb and ridiculous. Fake Casios are dumb and ridiculous. They're like $30 still. I've been offered to purchase a fake watch before. But I've never done it. I don't. But it's it kind of goes to my what I was saying the other day about watches just being this douche pool kind of a hobby.
Yes.
Because a fake Rolex really does serve almost all the purpose of a real Rolex.
Of a Rolex.
Yeah.
But you can tell when you look at it, right? Or you can't tell?
Most people can't.
Right.
So
yeah.
It's just all the thing. That's the thing, is that this entire world is about other people judging you.
And so if you can pull it off, right?
And you either
Why
want
not?
you want them to judge you because you have a
Rolex.
Because it's a high end item, yes.
Yeah.
So people are either judging you to rob you,
right,
or they're judging you to envy you.
True.
Or they're judging you to dismiss you.
Right. Or they could be a criminal sizing you up to see how good you're
that was
fake
number
it,
one
you're
was
big.
Rob. Number one was Rob.
Right.
Yes.
I'm into everything Coco Chanel now. I have Coco Chanel.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's really you finally found your groove.
I didn't even think it is Coco Chanel. Like, every time I say that, I think Susan says that's not the name of the company. It's Chanel.
The company is Chanel, yes.
Okay, thanks. Coco died, or Coco is still
it's like
there.
You don't drive a Henry Ford.
My stupidity is starting to delight me.
You drive a Chevy Ford.
Don't say that. It reminds me of the time I said Chevy when I meant to say Chevy.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Evan Frierson says, how do you handle a bad bite? Like a mysterious crunch or piece of something hard in your food? Do you spit out the whole bite? Try to locate the offending piece of whatever it is with your tongue and spit it out just that? Or just swallow and hope it wasn't anything too gross? No, not the third thing.
I never swallow.
It's not the third thing.
Never in my life have I swallowed a clump of something thinking, well, that piece of metal will just go through my system.
Right.
Or whatever it is. What are the other choices?
You spit out the whole bite, or just try to isolate the item with your mouth skills.
Well, it depends on who else is there, doesn't it, Josh?
A little bit.
If you're alone in a room, if I'm alone in a room, I take a couple of tweezers, I set up a whole thing.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
You could see by my face, couldn't you?
Yeah, I did. Munson 3786 says on Amazon there's a category of romance novel called The Billionaire Cowboy. Wow. The book covers show a young man wearing a cowboy hat. He's bare chested and he has pectoral muscles as big as sofa cushions. I imagine a movie version where Josh and Andy play the hired hands working on the ranch of the billionaire cowboy. While the romance plays out, Josh and Andy would wonder aloud about things like, does the billionaire cowboy ever put on a shirt? How does he maintain that weird facial hair? Gentlemen, it's an intellectual property.
I reject this project because one of us could be the billionaire boys, couldn't we?
Yes. I've got the...
I can be shirtless just as quickly as anybody else can be shirtless.
It's true.
I have trouble getting a shirt over my belly.
I think you should go Bert Kreischer, like... for this next time.
Is he like, but I mean, he really doesn't wear shirts. Isn't that his kind of thing?
No, he wears them in real life, just not on stage.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
And finally.
Yeah.
P.S. Lewinist. P.S. Lewinist? I just heard a recording of a song by a pre-comedy Jonathan Katz, and call me crazy, but it reminded me a lot of some of Andy's pre-comedy music we've heard on the show.
Wait, I mean serious music?
Not really a question, I guess, but more of a suggestion. Let's hear a Katz and Kindler song collab. Happy New Year.
You notice why I went like a serious song, like my old serious songs that would flow. This country stinks, and I hate it. Oh, this country still
In the
stinks.
USA.
Fuck the USA. I forgot the question.
Jonathan Katz's music reminded them of
Oh,
your
no,
music.
but that's what I was asking. Is it him being
That's
funny
what they're
before?
saying. It's pre-comedy. So I'm guessing it was the same. He went down the same boulevard.
Route that I went?
Sort of same boulevard of broken dreams that ended up in comedy.
I miss you. I miss you, Karen. I used to make fun of you, but now I love you, Karen. That's my way of getting better as a musician would be subsequent versions of Karen would be more jazzy. They'd be more bebop style. Until I finally got it right.
That's
at
right.
age 80. Karen, I admit I was a fucking asshole. Karen, can you see? I had some kind of narcissistic personality disorder. I don't even think you were interested in me now that I think about it. But Karen, the melody still blows. See? A minor, G. For those of you who want to write your own Karen.
Want to write your own Karen.
Yeah.
You've given them all the tools now.
Well, I wish I had more chords. So you can go, oh, I love the way he does a 1-6-2-5. A minor.
And he was arrested for abusing A minor.
We're in trouble, people. Who's with me?